Okay, let's think about this. Have you ever found yourself really stuck between impossible choices where, every single path just looks like disaster?
Or maybe felt that pull towards something forbidden, like knowledge, you maybe shouldn't have, but you want it anyway.
Exactly. Well, welcome everyone to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, dive right in, and pull out the most vital insights. We try to give you that shortcut to being, well, truly well informed.
Yeah, get you up to speed quickly.
And today we're taking a pretty epic journey. We're diving into Book 12 of the Odyssey.
A heavy hitter.
Right. We're going to look at not just the survival aspect, which is incredible, but also the psychology. What's it like facing dangers where there's just no good option?
And the power of temptation, the cost of leadership, it's all in there.
For sure. So our mission today, really distill the key nuggets from this amazing text and see, what ancient wisdom still clicks, what still resonates with us now.
Absolutely. Because this part of Odysseus' journey, Book 12, it's a real crucible, isn't it? A severe test.
Yeah.
It pushes his endurance, sure, but also his judgment, his crew's loyalty. Just the absolute limits of resilience when you're facing, well, the divine.
It really is a masterclass in making the absolute hardest choices. So where does it kick off? They've just come back from the underworld, which was harrowing enough.
Right, and they immediately return to Aiaia, Circe's island. But it's not for rest, not initially.
No, it's quite somber. They have to bury Elpenor, their shipmate, who died falling off Circe's roof before they left for Hades.
That's right. A really poignant moment. They build the grave mound, plant the stone, put his oar on top.
It sets a tone, doesn't it? Underscores the human cost before the next set of horrors even begin. Sacrifice, grief, it's already there.
And then Circe herself appears. Bright among goddesses, the text says.
And her greeting is, well, unique. She calls them unhappy, acknowledges they've died twice by going to Hades alive.
Which nobody else does, right? Everyone else dies just once. It immediately flags them as having gone beyond normal mortal experience.
She knows they're in for something else entirely.
Precisely. And after they feast, she takes Odysseus aside, privately.
This is the key moment, isn't it? Not just a chat. She gives him the blueprint for survival directly from a goddess.
Prophetic roadmap, yeah.
Yeah.
It lays out the dangers, the temptations, those lose-lose choices he's about to face.
So he knows what's coming, but that doesn't mean he can avoid it all.
Exactly. Knowing is one thing, navigating it is another. His understanding gets tested immediately.
And that first test, oh boy, the sirens. Circe paints a terrifying picture.
She does. Enchanters of all mankind. And the consequence, no coming home. Yeah. Just bone heaps of men now rotted away on their shores.
Chilling. Just absolutely chilling. And her instructions are so specific.
Very specific. For the crew, it's simple. Belt beeswax, plug their ears, total silence.
Right. Protect the vulnerable from something they just can't handle.
But for Odysseus, it's different if he wants to hear.
Which, of course, he does. It's Odysseus.
Naturally. He has to be tied up. Hand and foot, upright against the mast.
And this is the fascinating part for me. She says, if he begs, if he pleads to be released, they have to tie him even tighter.
Yeah, more lashings. It's this incredible act of preemptive self-binding. He knows he'll be tempted, so he sets up guardrails beforehand.
So they approach the island. The wind drops. Eerie calm.
Odysseus melts the wax, plugs everyone's ears, and then they tie him up, just like Circe said.
And the song they sing.
Wow.
It's not just beautiful, it's the promise of knowledge.
Total knowledge. We know everything in Wide Troy. Over all the generous earth, we know everything that happens.
I mean, for a hero like Odysseus who thrives on cunning and information, that's almost irresistible, isn't it?
Almost. The text says his heart yearns to listen. He's nodding frantically, signaling with his eyebrows, untie me.
But the crew holds fast. Perimedes and Eurylochus specifically mention.
They just lean into their oars, ignore him, and add more ropes, squeezing him tighter. They become his external willpower in that moment.
So it's like strategic vulnerability. He doesn't just resist temptation. He anticipates his own weakness and builds a system around it.
That's a great way to put it. It's not always about pure willpower. Sometimes it's about acknowledging limits and pre-committing to safety.
It makes you think, doesn't it? When have you needed to, metaphorically bind yourself to the mast against a shortcut or a desire?
It really does. And it shows that wanting knowledge is powerful, but accepting limitations, like Odysseus does here based on Circe's advice, is maybe a deeper kind of wisdom. He avoids being consumed by that desire.
Okay, so they survive the siren song, but they sail straight from that temptation into, well, the impossible choice.
The choice between bad and worse. Circe lays out the two routes.
Route 1. The rovers, or the clashing rocks, these overhanging rocks with massive waves crashing.
Yeah, she says basically nothing gets through unscathed. Not even birds carrying ambrosia for Zeus. Only one ship ever made it, the Argo.
And even they needed divine help from Hera, so basically don't go that way.
Pretty much. Which leads the other path, between Scylla and Charybdis.
And Circe's advice is just brutal. Make for Scylla's rock instead. Why? Because it is far better to mourn 6 friends lost than the whole company.
Oof. A forced loss. Choose between losing 6 men for sure or risking everyone. It's a grim calculation. No way to win, just mitigate the damage.
And Scylla. The description is nightmare fuel. A high peak, always dark.
And the creature herself sounds like a puppy, but she's this evil monster, 12 feet 6 long necks.
Horrible heads, 3 rows of teeth full of black death. Ugh.
And each head snatches 1 man, 6 men gone, just like that. Predatory terror, pure and simple.
Then there's Charybdis on the other side, lower cliff, big fig tree.
But underneath, she sucks down the black water 3 times a day, then vomits it back up, creates this insane vortex.
Circe says not even Poseidon, the Earthshaker, could save you if you get caught in that. Total annihilation.
One monster takes 6, the other takes all. That's the choice.
Odysseus, being Odysseus, the warrior, asks Circe, "Can't I fight Scylla, ward her off?"
Yeah, you can almost hear his frustration. But Circe shuts him down. Firmly.
Tells him Scylla isn't mortal, she's mischief immortal, dangerous, bloodthirsty, there's no fighting her.
And she specifically warns him not to waste time putting on armor, because Sky will just snatch another 6 while he's distracted.
Instead, she says, basically, pray. Invoke Scylla's mother, Critias. Divine problems need divine, or at least non-combat, solutions.
It's a clear instruction. Accept the loss. It's unavoidable.
But as they approach, the crew panics. They hear the surf, drop their oars.
Understandable terror. Odysseus has to rally them, reminds them they beat the Cyclops. Standard leadership stuff.
He makes 2 really interesting choices here. First, he doesn't tell the crew about Scylla. He spares them that specific fear.
And second, he flat out disobeys Circe. He puts on his glorious armor, grabs 2 spears, and stands on the deck actively looking for Scylla.
So let's unpack that. Circe, the goddess advisor, says don't fight, accept the loss. Odysseus, the leader on the ground, says protect my men from fear, and I'm going to be ready to fight anyway.
It's fascinating, isn't it? That tension between expert advice, divine prophecy even, and a leader's ingrained instinct to protect, to fight back, even when it seems futile.
Does it work, though? I mean, he puts on the armor, looks for her.
And Scylla still snatches 6 men, exactly as predicted. His actions didn't change the outcome for them.
So was withholding the information helpful? Was arming himself just for him? To feel like he was doing something?
Maybe. It raises uncomfortable questions about leadership, doesn't it? When is protecting your team from fear the right call, even if the outcome is the same? Who carries the weight of that knowledge? He does, ultimately.
And the description of the attack itself? It's brutal. They're sailing through, lamenting, focused on avoiding Charybdis.
And bam. Scylla strikes, grabs the 6 best men, lifts them high.
He describes their feet and hands dangling, crying out his name, gasping like fish on a line.
Eaten right there, screaming, reaching for him. Odysseus himself calls it the most pitiful scene he ever witnessed. Gut-wrenching.
It really drives home the cost. Even knowing it was coming didn't lessen the horror for him, or the loss. He had to watch it happen.
A terrible burden for a leader. He followed Circe's strategic advice sail closer to Scylla, but couldn't stomach the passive acceptance part.
Okay, from that horror, they move on. But the next test, maybe the ultimate one, the forbidden cattle of Helios.
Ah, yes, Thrinakia. Circe warned him specifically about this island. Helios, the sun god, keeps his sacred cattle and sheep there.
And they're special, right? Handsome, wide-browed oxen, fat sheep, 7 herds, 50 each, and they never die, never reproduce. Immortal livestock.
Exactly. And the prophecy was crystal clear. Harm them in any way, and it means destruction of your ship and your companions.
And Odysseus himself would return, maybe, but alone, in bad case, having lost everyone. The stakes couldn't be higher.
As they approach the island, Odysseus hears them, the lowing, the bleating. It immediately reminds him of the warning.
And he tells his crew again, explicitly mentioning both Tiresias and Circe. He calls violating the cattle the most dreadful disaster. He's really trying to hammer it home.
But his men are exhausted, grieving, And Eurylochus speaks up again.
This is the same guy who helped tie Odysseus tighter during the Sirens song, right?
The very same. But now he's had enough. He delivers this bitter speech, calls Odysseus hard, made all of iron, accuses him of not caring about their exhaustion.
He argues for landing, just for a night. Rest, a proper meal, instead of sailing blindly into the night seas where storms could wreck them.
It's a powerful moment. You have divine command on one side and sheer human desperation and, frankly, practicality on the other. You can almost see his point.
The crew agrees with Eurylochus. They're worn down.
Odysseus sees it's happening. He says he sees what evil the divinity had in mind. But he can't stop them landing, so he makes them swear a solemn oath.
A really serious oath. Do not touch the sacred cattle or sheep. Eat only the food Circe gave them.
They swear it. But then, the gods intervene directly. A supernatural storm hits, not just a bad weather patch.
It lasts a month, a whole month trapped on that island.
Their provisions run out, the food from Circe is gone. They start starving.
Reduced to hunting fish and birds with makeshift hooks, the text says hunger was exhausting their stomachs, real grinding starvation.
This is the breaking point. The oath holds for a while. But prolonged suffering wears people down.
And then Odysseus makes a mistake, a fatal one. He goes inland, alone, to pray to the gods for help, for some way off the island.
And while he's praying, the gods send a sweet sleep over him. He's completely vulnerable, unaware.
While the leader sleeps, Eurylochus makes his move. He gives his evil counsel, as the text calls it.
He says essentially, look, all deaths are bad, but hunger is the sorriest way to die.
Yeah.
Starving to death slowly on this island is the worst fate.
He convinces the others, let's sacrifice the best of Helios's cattle. We'll appease the god later, he argues. Build him a magnificent temple back in Ithaca.
It's a classic rationalization, isn't it? Do the wrong thing now, promise to make up for it later. He even says he'd rather drown quickly at sea, gulp the waves, than waste away from hunger here.
So they do it. They pick the best cattle, but they don't even have the proper ritual items. No barley for the prayers.
They use oak leaves instead. No wine for libations. They use water. It's a desperate makeshift sacrifice, trying to make sacrilege seem okay.
Odysseus wakes up. He smells the meat cooking, and he just cries out to the gods, realizing what's happened. Too late.
And immediately the signs start. Horrifying divine portents. The skins crawled, the text says. The meat on the spits, both cooked and raw, started to bellow like living cattle.
Oh, that's terrifying. A gruesome sign of just how badly they've messed up.
Absolutely. Divine displeasure made manifest. And the news travels fast.
Lampetia, Helios' daughter, zips off to tell her father.
Helios is understandably enraged. He goes straight to Zeus and the other gods demanding vengeance. He threatens to abandon the world of the living and go shine among the dead in Hades if he doesn't get justice.
High stakes for the cosmos, too, and Zeus responds.
Zeus promises Helios he'll take care of it. He'll smash their ship with a lightning bolt midway on the open wine-blue sea. Total destruction.
And Odysseus only finds this out later, right? From Calypso, who heard it from Hermes. But the sentence has been passed.
It has. And connecting this back, it's just a profound look at survival under duress, how desperation erodes morality. That promise of future penance will build a temple somehow justifies the immediate transgression.
It really makes you think, how often does pressure lead us to compromise, thinking we can just fix it later?
It's a very human failing, amplified here to epic, tragic proportions.
So they feast for 6 days on the forbidden cattle. The storm finally breaks on the 7th day. They set sail.
And retribution is swift, almost immediate. Zeus gathers a blue-black cloud over their ship.
A screaming west wind hits, snapping the forestays. The mast comes crashing down.
Kills the steersman instantly, crushes his skull. Chaos.
Then the lightning bolt hits, Zeus's promised punishment. The ship fills with sulfur, brimstone.
His men are thrown overboard. The text compares them to sea crows, bobbing helplessly before sinking. The god took away their homecoming. Just like that, everyone gone.
Except Odysseus.
Except Odysseus. His survival is almost unbelievable. Sheer willpower and resourcefulness. He grabs the broken keel and mast, lashes them together with a rope made from oxhide.
Uses a piece of the problem, the sacrificed ox, to survive its consequences.
Wow. And he just clings to this makeshift raft, riding out the storm, alone.
But his ordeal isn't over, as if things couldn't get worse. The winds shift.
And carry him right back towards Scylla and Charybdis. Unbelievable. Specifically towards Charybdis's whirlpool.
He's about to be sucked down with his raft. What does he do?
He sees the giant fig tree overhanging the vortex. Just as the raft is pulled under, he makes a desperate leap and clings to the trunk and roots like a bat.
Just hanging there above the abyss, waiting for the timbers of his raft to be eventually vomited back up by Charybdis.
And the text uses that amazing simile. For the weight it felt as long as the time when a man leaves the law court for dinner after judging the many disputes.
It's such a human touch, isn't it? That contrast between epic survival and the mundane passage of time during a long workday really grounds the desperation.
Yeah.
Makes you feel how agonizingly slow that wait must have been.
And then finally the timbers reappear. He times it perfectly, lets go, drops right between them, and starts paddling away with his hands.
And there's a crucial line. The father of gods and men did not let Scylla see me again.
Divine intervention. Or maybe just sheer luck. But he spared a second encounter with her. He escapes the dual threat somehow,
By the skin of his teeth, he drifts for 9 more days.
finally washing ashore on Aiaia, Calypso's island, where, as he says, she befriended me and took care of me. A moment of safety, finally, after all that loss and terror.
Wow, what a sequence of events. So thinking about this whole journey, Book 12, what does it really mean for us, for you listening?
Well, it's obviously a story of incredible endurance. But more than that, maybe, it's a stark look at the consequences of choices, especially under pressure.
That interplay between fate and free will seems huge here, too. How much was destined? How much was their own doing?
And the sheer weight of leadership. Odysseus survives, but he carries the memory, the responsibility for all those losses. That's a solitary burden.
From the siren song, that lure of knowledge,
To the impossible choice, Scylla or Charybdis, accepting loss.
and finally the crew succumbing to hunger, defying a god. It's a masterclass in survival, but also in failure, loss, and command.
It really shows how challenges aren't always about strength. Sometimes it's about managing information, resisting those tempting shortcuts, or making a truly impossible call.
So maybe the final thought for you is this. What are the prophecies, the warnings we get today about risks, about consequences? And when do we, maybe like Odysseus's crew, ignore them for immediate comfort or because we're tired or hungry, risking a much bigger storm down the road?
When does that short-term relief lead to long-term disaster? It's a question that never really gets old, does it?